think that's actually going to be the biggest problem here for Unicorns of Love. Irelia versus Jax. Irelia functions very, very similarly to Jax, at least in the laning phase. And that means, unfortunately, that Irelia gets generally beaten out because Jax just has more damage built into his kit. He has less problems with mana sustain. His Counter-Strike cancels out hit 10 style. All these little advantages add up, and Jax generally comes out on top. There's like a small window sometimes if Aurelia gets a little bit ahead, but eventually Jax will outscale her in the one-on-one. And while she can team fight better in certain circumstances, Jax, if he gets farmed up, will become a beast, and it is well known. And he doesn't even necessarily have to be team fighting in order to exert the map pressure. So Unicorns of Love are essentially putting themselves on a time bomb situation in the top lane, but they haven't managed to engineer themselves massive advantages in the others. They've got a mid lane that's likely to go even. They've got a bot lane that's likely to go even. So we'll see, but I actually have to say I favor SK Prime's pick here.
Let's see how it ends up working out. So they got Orianna versus Ziggs, a fabled matchup we see all the time out of the mid lane. The jungle matchup, Elise versus Kha'Zix, another really popular one. And we've talked a little bit about the bot lane matchup. Generally speaking, do you feel like one team has a lane advantage, or is there a scaling advantage between these two sides? Will these teams be playing? Will they be playing the power curve game this game?
So basically, both of these teams are very, very strong in the late game. But the problem is, as I said, the difference between Irelia and Jax is quite significant, and that's always going to mean that Unicorns of Love will be forced to be the aggressors if they get to a late game stage, because otherwise they get split pushed in and they don't really have much answer to the Jax split push. So yeah, if they play the scaling game, SK Prime will come out on top. There is an argument to be made that Unicorns of Love will have a slightly stronger early game, and especially a slightly stronger ability to set up ganks around level 6, because Elise will be getting quite a bit of damage at that point. You can chain that with a lot of the CC. For instance, you can carry the ball to the lane opponent, get the shockwave down from that, or you can use the solar flare in the bot lane to set up a gank down there. There isn't quite such supremely strong ganking power from the lanes of SK Prime, because obviously Ziggs a little bit less reliable on the CC front, but it's not a huge difference. Whereas the scaling difference between Jax and Aurelia, I feel, will make a massive difference if it gets to that point.
All right, guys. So heading towards the end of Spectator Delay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, it'll be game one of this best of three. First best of three of the lower bracket between Unicorns of Love and SK Prime.
I just can't let this go. Every last chance I had is gone, but I just can't let you know. I just can't let you know. But I just can't let you know. just can't let you know.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we take to the Rift. I'm Malphus being joined here by Spuddington to cast the Solomid Invitationals 2014. This is our second event over on the European side. This best of three is going to be between Unicorns of Love, starting off in the blue this game, up against SK Prime, who are taking down the red, as teams are very quickly moving into the enemy jungle to drop down some trinket wards.
Yep, pretty much what we've been seeing all the time now, with both of the teams obviously having access to their 30-second trinket wards. Quite a nice little thing for that level 1 fight for them. And at the moment, Gilius was thinking about it, but actually deciding against it. So right now, looking like we're actually just going to be seeing those deep wards being put down, but nothing too much happening in terms of fighting. They're just going to have that vision of the enemy jungler, which will make the early game slightly more predictable for both teams, and probably mean we'll see a little bit more farming heavy style from both junglers.
So just a quick note on summoner spells. Generally speaking, people consider the Ziggs Orianna matchup to be really, really close, but with Ziggs having a tiny edge, just because of his ability to control the timing of trades and abuse his passive, whereas Orianna kind of needs to constantly be applying her passive. But the Orianna in this case is actually going to have an Ignite versus Ziggs' heal. So final time going to try to take that lane aggressive and take control of it very early on. Also down on the bottom lane, Zaitan is running an Ignite on his support Braum as well. So there's just a little bit of a summoner disparity on a couple of those sides. And you have to wonder, without an exhaust to deal with Irelia's late game damage potential, could that be the extra boost that Chachi needs to take down a target very quickly like what the Fox or Ziz?
Yeah, that is definitely true. So having something we're actually seeing a little bit more is the Ignites in general. Both, like almost every jungler actually, almost every support tends to be taking it if they feel they have the lane advantage right now, just because it enables you to capitalize a little bit better. Although, I'd still definitely say there's an argument for exhaust being more valuable, especially if you're against a composition like SK Primes, simply because it means you can stop the Jax drain, you could stop a Kha'Zix reset sequence as well. So there's definitely arguments to be made either way, but lane dominance generally goes the way of Ignite.
Kyle saying hits level 2, goes in on his Ziz. There's a summoner heal already being burned. Exhaust down on his Ziz as well. He's going to quick draw away. Will he have to burn the flash? Stand behind me comes out from Zaitan to reposition himself closer to Ziz. And that'll be the end of the trade. But nicely played there by Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, and they're going in again.
Goes back in, gets the stun. Flash comes out. Will they have the damage output? They need one more auto attack. It goes down to Heil saying the Braun passive going to stun up Vardax. He's going to get a little bit of bonus magic damage on those attacks, but it's not going to be enough. Vardax pulls himself back out, and they very quickly take down the Graves.
Oh my god. He's got him again.
He's got it again. Not going to be able to take down that tanky Braum. But nonetheless, so much trading down in the bottom lane. Chachi up in a hard trade in the top lane. Action all over the map now as Gilius tries to come in for the invade. Master of Sheepy going to get the red buff. Gilius goes over the wall. There's the repel coming back out. Gilius has nowhere to go. Master of Sheepy going to
the dragon damage.
Yeah, dragons. Hey, get off my lawn, you kids.
Oh, they're going to take it. They're going to just go straight for it right now. And actually, thinking about it, that makes a lot of sense because everyone is either dead or been forced out of the lane right now. So they will be able to just juggle the damage here using the Spiderlings. If they had any jungler other than Elise, I don't think this would be a viable option. And Hylasang might die at this rate. In fact, oh, blimey. He is alive. He's going to live. I think. There we go. And they will get to recall as well since they pushed out the bottom lane with Vardags. So all told, very, very aggressive early game. Not at all what I was expecting there. But part of it is just because that bot lane was getting so many good Zenith blades with the level advantage. That then also created impetus for the junglers to move down into that area to take advantage of the weakness or strength, depending on your perspective, of that bot lane.
So, yeah. You don't see too many 4-minute dragons in the game today. But every now and then, something crazy will happen, and, you know, it'll actually be a thing. Smitty going for some trades on Chachi. Chachi's using some Blade Surge to stay away from the Jax as long as he can, but Gilius is going to show up here, and Chachi is not going to have a very good time with this one. Going to try to trade this 1-for-1. Will successfully do so due to the massive, massive stack of minions that were a huge part of that fight as well. So, kills one in the 2-for-1. Not too bad.
Yeah, not a bad usage there as well, because Jax normally wouldn't want to go in for a sustained trade without Counter-Strike. But of course, in that situation, he was trying to set up a gank, so he overcommitted. As a result, went down. Visasachi gets the kill on him. I'm kind of curious as to whether Gilius is going to be the good guy here and try and freeze this lane for Jax, but no. He's just going to let that go. He's going to get the jungle. You know, got to get carry jungler, all right? Got to get the farm on.
All right, so here we see exactly how Braum trades versus Leona go. Leona goes in on the carry. Braum puts himself between his carry and their carry, throws up the shield, and then just make sure he auto-attacks Leona a couple times to make it really easy to get the passive proc on her. And the passive does so much damage right now. And you see the Leona ends up chunked from it. Again, Hyosang goes in. Zaitan's just standing in front of the Lucian with his shield up. And Hyosang takes a massive burst of damage from Braum and Graves combined.
Yeah, but now I think top lane.
Oh, Smitty going back in. We're going to see the 2v2. Gilius is around. Smitty going to jump away. Master of Sheepy trying to chase this one down. Needs one more auto attack, one more spell. Going to be able to get it with the Venomous Bite. Now Zhachi trying to run away from this one. Gilius jumps back in. Will be able to pick that kill up. Master of Sheepy, he's got creeps in the way. Can't land the cocoon. Not going to matter. Goes back to Spider form. Double kill goes down. Back down to the bottom lane. Hyosang goes in one more time. One more passive proc will do it. Zaitan picks that kill up with the auto attack. Ziz cannot close the gap. Cannot pick up the kill. That Q's not going to land. Vardags gets himself back out and Hyosang goes down.
But crucially, they did get the kill there. So that puts the advantage in Ziz and Zaitan's court. Double Z lane are now going to be able to keep this pushed out. And actually now in the mid lane.
What the fuck? That's the Ignite versus Heal matchup. No. He's going to be able to kill him with that. And flashing under the tower is going to end up giving the kill back over. Final time. Underestimating the damage from his Ignite.
Oh well, all summoners used in the mid lane. Well, I think most of the summoners used in the bot lane. Actually, we've got a couple of them coming back up again for Vardag soon, but just so much aggression, so much all-inning across the board. It's partly just the way that this bot lane is set up, because they're both, or rather, Hylasang in particular is a very aggressive support player, and also playing a super aggressive support who basically all-ins or does nothing. So, in this situation, that is what she has opted to do. She looks like Graves may be staying in the bot lane right now, or not.
So this is this is the first taste of the Braum Leona matchup I've really been able to watch. Braum just gets banned too often for me to really have a whole lot of insight into that champion yet. And so far it looks like he's pretty good. We see Chachi one more time baiting Smitty in. Smitty going to take a lot of damage here. Master of Sheepy trying to run him back down. Smitty's burned out his entire mana pool on this one. Going into the ultimate form. He will survive the gank. He's going to lose a lot of lane pressure. Now Master Sheepy going to find himself walking right into Gilius. This is not going to be fun for him. Down he goes. Shutdown gold going over to the Cossacks.
Yeah, not a place you want to be. He found himself having thought he was completely safe. Obviously, didn't take the safe route back to the lane. So now he's actually given over some jungle control to Gilius, who is going to be not looking to steal away this blue buff by the looks of it. Oh, that's why. Orianna is very low.
Final time, not going to enjoy this dive. Satchel Charge keeps her CC, keeps her from casting spells as he goes back into this one. The culling gets thrown out, has most of its damage mitigated there by the Braum shield. Now he's going to flash himself away. Flash comes out from Vardags. Vardags picks that kill up, uses the summoner heal to get his support away and healthy. Vardags still trying to chase this one down. Relentless Pursuit is living up to its name, but it will not net him a kill as Ziz is able to get himself away from that one.
Did have to flash though, so not a bad trade there, especially considering they already got the kill. But here comes Gilius.
Yeah, the trade's making a lot worse. And that's a lot of burst damage. Ouch.
Isolation. Yeah, he's gone for the wings upgrade here, which is actually quite interesting. Gonna be keeping using it though.
And Gilius. Nope. Come on.
You can get it,
Yep.
I think.
Q,
Oh,
red.
maybe
Spear the
not.
Elder Lizard needs an
Come
auto
on.
attack.
get him.
If he's got the, yeah,
It's worth
got
it.
him.
You got the reset.
No
Worth it.
mana. Picks up the
Big
kill, no
shot
mana.
now.
Big shutdown gold, 500 gold going over to Heil
What's
Sang at the end of
the
that
other?
one.
The owner's like a gold black hole. She doesn't really do anything with it. So you could almost call that worth. I'm not like legitimately worth it. I'm not entirely sure either way. But still, continued action absolutely everywhere across the board. Wanted to talk about Kha'Zix's wings upgrade, but it's essentially because he's finding so many ganking opportunities all over the goddamn map right now. He doesn't really need that ultimate. He's ultimate upgrade for the damage reduction. He's just getting more gank opportunities using the wings upgrade, gets the reset, chases on, etc., etc. Although it did get him killed last time.
Yeah, it did. Not having the mana pool to sustain that, jumping around that many times is not the greatest, but it's not the worst thing either. Now he's going to dive back in on the final time. You see the jump range so incredibly strong. Now Gilius going to find himself caught out. Shockwave going to pull them both back in. Beautiful Shockwave. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Not going to have enough damage. What the Fox? Chase out, is he ignite enough? Yes, it is. Final time. Picks up another kill.
Gilius was pretty lucky to survive there himself, so that could have gone a lot worse. They simply were not aware of Master Sheepy being there, and they claim the ward in the end. And the kill up top, because didn't notice that.
Yeah, Chachi just blew the all in. He was like, he looked at me like, you know what? Now's assistant, I like Kertia, and just blew him up. Boom. Hungarian Aurelius die. That's what's up.
I don't even know what you just said. Anyway, Master Sheepy taking away the dragon right now. They will get that pretty simply, so getting quite a significant amount of gold right now. Global gold over their opponents, having had 2 dragons. Remember, the early dragon gold was buffed in the last patch, so that's a little bit stronger now as well. It actually looks like Gilius is going to have to be careful when he takes this blue. He does seem to smell a rat, though.
Can
a rat.
Can they trap him out? It's a spider. It's a spider rat. We got this. Master Sheepy taking a lot of damage. Gonna try to go back in, turn it to throw. I don't know what the Fox. Solar Flare comes out. Gonna catch him back up. Gilius gonna jump back in. We'll be able to pick the kill up on the Master Sheepy because he's got those wings. He's gonna be able to jump himself back out. And surprisingly enough, what the Fox is gonna be able to walk away from that one.
Yeah, very surprising survival there. Aniki, he's thinking about it. He's not going to get it, and he may die for it.
Yeah, he's going to try to run away from this one. Gilius pops the Void Assault. Remember, he only gets 2 charges for not having...
Like 1 second off.
Oh, not going to matter. Jumps on and pick the kill
wow.
up, but there's Heil Sang from the side! He's going to be able to take him down.
Got him! All right, worth it. Leona is fed. GG, this game's over. Right, okay, so... at this point, both... it's hard to compare the straight-up lane matchups right now, but I think the one shining star so far is the fact that Kha'Zix is really getting out of control. Meanwhile, on top.
Smitty going for the dive. He's going to fall down to this one, too. The theme of this game has been diving towers, picking up kills, and then immediately dying for it. This is, it's made for some fun watching, I'll say that.
It's made for some fairly chaotic watching, I'll say that. But, yeah. All right, so Jack's dying there was actually dead worth it, though, because the CS is going to hit the tower. He was already behind on kills. He gets the XP advantage, I think, from the level disadvantage, which he didn't have. But in the situation, that's still not a bad trade for him. And it also shows, because that was a one-on-one trade, but a one-on-one kill under tower, essentially. So he already had the edge. And that actually is now going to have to be cut off, because Ziz is in trouble.
Yeah, that's... Can he get himself over the wall? So much trouble. Gilius going to throw the slow down there with the Void Spikes. Master Sheepy goes in with a repel, closes the gap. Master Sheepy picks that kill up. Now Gilius is going to be the one to find himself in trouble. Double kill now goes down for Master of Sheepy as they continue to get players out. What the Fox on the run. Throws down the minefield. Can he get himself away from this one? Final time. Uses the command shockwave. He gets flashed away. Master of Sheepy could not land the cocoon from the side. Vardax blows the culling. Final time. Hits this one. Go on, my son. He's just chasing him down through everything. Minefield going to close off that choke, and Heil Sang will have to give up the chase.
That's a pity. I was hoping. He'd already used the Solar Flare, though. He didn't have his boots, so... or his boots, too. He wasn't going to catch up with that Ziggs there, so... Okay, continued aggression across the board. Right now, of course, mid-tower getting quite low because of the fact that Ziggs keeps getting caught out, having to roam around to help out his team here. But both of the mid laners are still getting some okay farm, and scaling between the two teams, as we've mentioned, the main difference is going to be on the Jax, and Kha'Zix is starting to die. So Unicorns of Love are building themselves pretty decent advantage in every area except top lane, and it actually now looks like both sides are going to look to equalize the top lane. and when I say equalize that, I mean in the manner of Animal Farm, we do have, of course, Gilius on full health, though.
Yep, there's the stun going down onto Smitty. Smitty gonna get locked up by the Cocoon as well. Does manage to pop the ultimate before he goes in. That's gonna provide him a lot of tankiness that he desperately needs right now. Smitty gonna pick up the first kill on Chachi. Gilius gonna be able to chase down Master of Sheepy. Master of Sheepy gets another kill, and it's another big shutdown bonus, this time going over to Gilius.
So, okay, he's back on track. He's back into hyper-fed mode. Super scary Kha'Zix. Once again, once he goes back, he's going to have a major item, probably a Hex Drinker at the very least. And that is going to also possibly mean the top tower. If Gilius wants this down here, he can afford to wait for the next wave. He knows Vizic doesn't have his teleport up, so he should be able to just take that. And that will enable Jax to continue pushing, but it actually looks like he's not going to do it. Doesn't want the tower right now. They're just happy to let that laning phase continue. SK Prime did just show their jungler for quite a long time, of course, so we may see Master of Sheepy look to get a gank down in the next couple of seconds, or 10-15 seconds, but he is not heading to bot lane quite yet. Maybe going for the mid.
I feel like a big part of what's gonna the mid game here is gonna come down to which jungler is able to use their excessive amount of farm early to their advantage. Elise is building tankiness and high cooldown reduction. Kha'Zix is just building damage and more damage with a little survivability on the side. So I mean, this is gonna be those are the two most farm guys on the map. Between just having as many kills as they do, particularly more for the Kha'Zix.
Got the white.
We're gonna see a duel. We're gonna see a duel between the two of them right now. The
Kha'Zix is gonna
Yep, and that's very dead. Master of Sheepy, very dead.
Yeah, that's you don't really want to duel quite a fed Kha'Zix, even as Elise, because you don't get the isolation damage on Elise because of the spiderlings. But even so, yeah, you're not gonna win against that kind of a Kha'Zix, because generally building tanky doesn't help you quite so much in duels, especially not against someone with that much damage and that much sustain from his W. It does look like Kha'Zix is going to steal away the Wraith to make up for his white loss.
Smitty taking advantage of Fog of War to get a favorable trade down onto Chachi. Chachi doing what he can to trade it back out. So if we're taking a look at for the lanes, it's just so much damage coming out. But again, Master Sheepy's just always there. Counter strike stun, go down onto Chachi. Even the Blade Surge mobility not enough, and now Sheepy has to be careful. He might try to just turn it back around and duel him again. Grandmaster's Might was still burning, and that's a fast double kill for Smitty.
Yeah, that's the problem with running Irelia into Jax, because Jax can straight up whack her around in a one-on-one and then also kill the jungler if he gets too far ahead, or if Irelia takes too much damage before she gets there. So yeah, looking a bit dangerous up there. Does actually look like
dive down to the bottom lane. Vardex knocked up by the Brahms ultimate. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb going to land. Ignite from Zaitan going to pick that kill up. Gilius trying to run down the support on Heilsing. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, final time, able to find the kill onto Smitty as he retreats from that quick two-on-one double kill he picked up. Teleport going down to the bottom lane. Shashi going to show back up and turn this one back around. SK Prime cannot chase down to the tower, and they're going to have to content themselves for just the kill on Vardax.
So at this point, Unicorns of Love have actually lost most of their lead that they had. They've just get a little bit more again from taking that tower, but they've lost most of the lead that they had. They lost their last dragon. They've lost their top lane presence. So now they definitely need to make sure they keep good vision control in their own upper jungle. You can see they've actually already got a pink ward up there, essentially to try and mitigate Smitty's ability to split push constantly, because that will ruin them if he is allowed to do that. And actually is teleporting down there. If he is allowed to split push and apply too much pressure, they will essentially lose all control over the game, because they, as is demonstrated, can't really deal with Jax without getting 3 men on him. And if he's got decent warding around the area, they won't be able to do that. And Irelia basically now, the impetus is massively on her to find engagements. Of course, having a Leona on your team can help out with that, but not this time, it seems.
Not this time. Wonderfox able to dodge out all the skill shots and is now just chasing Heilsing down. He just needs a couple more auto attacks. There's actually the face of the mountain going to get burned. Not enough. Bouncing Bomb going to pick that kill up. And that's what happens when you miss your initiation as Leona.
Yeah, not ideal there. Although his team arguably could have gone to help him, but there was obviously a big a big set of men in your area. They are big for fight.
Chachi uses the Blade Surge to get away from the Mega Inferno Bombs. Zaitan throws the shield up to reduce the damage from the calling. Chasing down onto What the Fox. Summoner Heal goes out to keep Ziggs healthy and moving quickly, and that'll be the end of that one.
So both teams will disengage from that. Mid tower does stay up for Unicorns of Love. Now they need to get some lanes pushing in their favor. They know their opponents were beaten back. They know they were reasonably low. So I'd actually like to see Aurelia going up to the top lane. Does look like she will. Lucian going to the bot lane. So they're going to probably try and get this bottom tower down now. It is very, very low. That would be a very logical thing to do. Give them the map presence and give them that little bit of gold advantage. Vizik, though, you can see he's so paranoid about how strong Jax is, because he knows if Jax gets on him, Blade of the Ruined King active, although he doesn't have it, would kill him almost instantly.
And this game has honestly been like 7 parts Call of Duty, 3 parts League of Legends. There's like the dragons, yeah, that's been going down from time to time. We saw a 4-minute dragon. That was kind of an objective of opportunity, but only 1 tower has been killed by each team here at the 20-minute mark. Okay, there's the 3rd tower of the game going down here, but there's 34 kills shy of the 20-minute mark, and they're only just now taking the 2nd tower down, like 1 team claiming a 2nd tower. So this has been a very PvP game, almost no objective focus at all.
Yeah, indeed, and it looks like we may be about to see another attempt on Smitty here, but I'm not sure I'd want to, and it looks like Vizik agrees. Mr. Sheepy is just going to walk up and say, I scared you.
We give him a little bit of the cue there. Hyosang now has to run away from Gilius, and Gilius is going to start the slow train. There's no one in the area to help Hyosang out. He is done for.
Why you do this?
Passive going to proc. There's the stun, and that's going to be another quick kill going down for Gilius. Up in the top lane, Shachi and Sheepy fancy another go on to Smitty. Creep's going to stop the Cocoon from coming back in, and Smitty's going to be able to put a ton of damage down, chasing Shachi all over the place. Master of Sheepy just can't keep up. Finally goes into Spider form to get into range. Mega Inferno Bomb coming in. Repel going to be used to not dodge it out. Wasn't sure the timing of when it was going to land. He comes back down, picks that kill up, and then dies to the Ziggs. Ziggs, of course, able to participate in the top lane while pushing down mid tower, because that's just how that champion works.
Yep, 1 free... Well, I hesitate to say it, but 1 free map rotation advantage for you based on that ultimate there. So, as it happens, I actually really have to admire Visit here, because he's... Or Visitachi, whatever the bloody name is. He manages to very effectively avoid the counter-strike there. Smitty was trying to jump after him there, and you saw he blade search, I think, to 2 minions to try and keep away from Jax. Jax still leap strike to him appropriately, and then he flashed out of that like with an almost instantaneous reaction on it. So he's actually doing a remarkably skilled job of keeping himself out of trouble, but I don't know if that's actually going to help him out. Gilius did just pop his ultimate, but I don't really think he's going to achieve much with that.
He thought about going in, saw the Orianna, and thought, you know, this probably would not be too fun.
Yeah, let's not, actually. After all, let's not. But we are starting to see some of the problems that Unicorns of Love have got with their composition here. They haven't got much chance with the Jax split push, and they also can't really siege. They can't push against the Ziggs pressure, essentially. He clears the waves far too well, and that means they're stuck in a situation of, well, how do we deal with Jax? Well, we have to like gank him and then maybe look for an objective, except Ziggs is making it really, really hard for us to take any objectives whatsoever. And now we also have to deal with the fact that if we ever die, they can just crush our base.
Smitty just dives straight in on a Vardax, does not have the support from Zaitan anywhere nearby. Smitty pops the counter-strike. There's a very real threat of a tower dive, but he's going to go ahead and back away from this one. Smitty doesn't even have the Triforce done yet. He hasn't hit the Jax core. What the Fox getting chased down in the top lane. Stun goes down. Ziz is there to try to turn back around, but there's the burst damage from Irelia. Irelia now trying to chase down both top laners, having just a free day on the opposing carries. Gilius now diving the tower in the bottom lane. Hyosang throws out the solar flare. Keep himself alive as long as possible. Up in the top lane, Ziz does finally go down to Master of Sheepy. Zaitan taking up the tower while Smitty picks that kill up on Hyosang. And the Kazakhs will end up going down in the end. Vardag's able to pick that kill up, and Gilius trades his life for that one. As just action in both places at once. How do you even deal with it?
I don't. I'm not the play-by-play caster. So right now they're pushing in the top tower though. So this was actually a remarkably good trade because it took so long to kill both Hyosang and Bardags in the bot lane, and they actually traded back a kill as well on a shutdown from Kazakhs. And they took, I think, 2 towers in the top lane and a significant chunk out of the inhib tower. They did regen, or will regen, but we will see if they can actually capitalize off that in the future. They've given themselves a lot more options now because there's a lot more area in this upper jungle which is open to them, and it means that Jax isn't already established just shoving in where, and they won't be forced to respond to him. They can now be the proactive players and be the ones forcing Jax to respond to them.
Smitty Smitty is going to be the biggest source of like just trouble for Unicorns of Love when it comes down to it, because the Jack split push is just going to be almost unstoppable. Chachi's going to teleport into this one. Looks like Unicorns of Love want to try to test this as best they can. Xenoblade not going to get in range. Hyosang cannot lock up the Kazakhs. They're going to turn back around. Smitty going to get locked up. All the CC goes onto him. He's still surviving the end of it. Jumps back in, gets the stun on Chachi, and picks that kill up. Master of Sheepy turns back around, procs and Randu, and trying to keep Gilius away. There's the Orianna going to get jumped on. Vardax picks up the kill onto What the Fox. And Zaitan able to flash himself back out with almost no HP at all. Hyosang also extremely low. All the supports just barely getting back out. Vardax is going to go down. Gilius picks that kill up. Master of Sheepy answers it back out.
Wow,
Uses the repel. Going to go over to Smitty. Double kill goes down for Master of Sheepy before he gets cleaned up by the opposing AD carry. Ziz is going to get that shut down. Final Time was able to just barely survive the Kazakhs Jax onslaught, and indeed will survive the fight as both he and Hyosang get out with no HP at all. The surviving bottom lane here for the side of SK Prime going to prioritize pushing in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think Smitty may have slightly lacked in situational awareness there. Didn't realize Elise was just going to rappel over the wall to him and kill him as a free pick-me-up on the way. But still, roughly even trade in terms of the kills, but it's once again SK Prime picking up the kill on the Dragon. So, small goal lead, still in the favor of Unicorns of Love, as it has been for a while. And so long as they can keep fighting team fights, they won't have such major concerns from the Jax. In a team fight, he's not. The difference between him and Aurelia is much, much smaller than it is in a one-on-one. Simply because, well, I mean, tenacity is highly valuable in a team fight, for one thing. And also just because he's not as easily able to wind up and get to his full attack speed. Peril, speaking of which, hello!
Smitty gonna have Zaitan there to help out. There's the ultimate going back down. They get the pop-up on a Hyosang. They're gonna continue putting damage down on the Hyosang. They pick that kill up very quickly. Now chasing on the Chachi, the Braum passive, not gonna get proc. Manages to back himself away from that from Gilius. Not gonna be able to get it up in time. Smitty gonna get pulled back by the command shockwave, but it's not gonna matter. Gilius picks that kill up. Culling goes out from Vardax, takes Smitty down incredibly low. They're gonna look to disengage from this one. Zaitan using that big shield up in the front. He's gonna get caught out by the Cocoon, but it's not gonna matter. And just like that, SK Prime pick up 2 quick kills.
For the record, possibly the worst possible kind of situation to try and kill Jax in is when he's already on max attack speed from hitting the red buff and when it's a 2-on-2, which is a low number fight where you can't focus him out very easily. So, yeah, that didn't go too well for Unicorns of Love. And, of course, now Jax is established. Jax is already pushing out, and they're going to be forced to respond to him. He may have overcommitted here, though, and I don't think the recall is the right move.
Smitty.
Maybe he should have delayed and gone for the TP.
Smitty jumps to Hyosang. There's the Leona CC
Block
coming
bait.
out. Uses the counter-strike, running further, and gets the stun down on the Chachi. Chachi going to chase him back down. That tower shot is going to end it and put the red buff over onto the Irelia.
You can see how many people that committed. All those people there are not defending the mid tower, and that will be a tower going down. SK Prime, though, may have overcommitted themselves again.
Solar Flare goes out. Zaitan soaking up as much of the CC and damage as he can. There's the command Shockwave going to go down onto Zaitan. Mega Inferno Bomb going to hit all 4 members of Unicorns of Love in the area. Summoner Heal goes out. They're going to be able to run the Braum away.
Kite is just so unfair going against Ziggs when you're trying to chase them down. Just like, so much range and so much good, strong CC as well if you're being forced to walk into it. So that's put them into a very good trade with Jax committing so hard in the top lane, and now they're being quite aggressive here. I'm not entirely sure about this plan because there is definitely potential to contest it, but there are so many people on low health from their opponents. They may be able to just turn and burn if they were to get there, but actually looks like they were too trepidatious about moving into the pit, so Baron's already gone. They won't get the engage off it, but SK Prime, very good call.
There's just way too much damage coming out right now from the side of SK Prime. Smitty just shredded that Baron down almost instantly, and Gilius is doing insane damage as well. And whenever they have like the massive tanky presence of the support Braum, like the high damage dealers, they don't have to worry about taking any damage from the Baron, and they can just shred down those objectives just like that. SK Prime are in a... I mean, there's no big gold advantage. This game is extremely close, and yet it feels like they're overpowering when it comes to the strength of their solo lanes. Well, particularly their top laner.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it, is just that we see the Jax destroying all living things that go against him, even though he's got a negative KDA, or not, well, okay, KD. But with the two of those guys going up against each other for so long, with the Baron buff now on Jax, with him pushing, as you can see right here, it's basically get an engage right now or die.
I was going to try to make that one happen. This gets caught out by the command Shockwave. Try to chase him back down. Zaitan up in the front. He's going to take all the CCA damage. He's going to fall down. Vardax picks that kill up. Chachi wants to continue the chase, but going to spot Gilius and say, you know what? I think I'm just going to go away now.
Yeah, and now what do? Do you send one person back to stop Jax? No, you can't, because he'll kill that one person. Even if it's Aurelia, he'll dive her, he'll kill her. So now he is free to, you know, take that one tower, and the rest of his team can look for an engage.
Looking to get the slows down on a final time. Gilius flashes forward here, trying to continue the aggression. Oh my goodness, so much damage. Vardax goes down to the Mega Inferno Bomb. Now final time getting chased down. Gilius needs one more auto attack. Not going to be enough. The command protect comes in just in time. The buckshot's out of range. Hyosang getting chased down by Smitty. Chachi trying to take this one down if he can. Now Smitty's going to turn his guns onto Chachi, and Chachi has to run himself away from this one. It's going to be Vardax going down in the trade for Gilius, but SK Prime going to be able to take the map advantage.
Yeah, slightly messy engage there by SK Prime. They could have benefited more than they actually did under those circumstances, but still a win for them. So that kind of shows the situation that Unicorns of Love are finding themselves in. SK Prime, I mean, arguably Ziz should have gone down bot right now just to take that tower, but doesn't seem to have noticed. And the minions may do it themselves before Aurelia gets there. Keeping an eye on that. There we go. Yeah, it's going. So fair enough.
Time.
Oh dear, fighting.
Hyosang gets the solar flare down onto Smitty. Now he uses his Zenith Blade to pull himself back out. What the Fox just trying to get himself away from this one. Chachi dive back down. Hyosang going to go down to Smitty. Smitty now turns his guns onto the AD carry. Ziz trying to walk this back up. Chachi picks up the kill onto What the Fox. Gonna pick up another kill onto the Jax as well. Vardax still standing at the end of this one. And they did not have Gilius available to them, so SK Prime could not roll through that fight the way they have the last couple of engagements.
Yeah, but still, kills going in their way. The Baron buff actually now off quite a lot on their players, so they're not going to be too restricted to that to apply that on their timings for their pushes and things. Could be able to get this dragon if they want to, although Gilius is going to prioritize the red buff because it's important. Even smiting it. Master Sheep is coming. Not going to get him.
Not going to get him. Jumps over the wall. And
no,
finds a
like,
dragon.
oh wait, yeah, there's a dragon here.
Drops a pink
Maybe,
board. Oh,
maybe I
there's
should
no
have
vision.
been doing that.
I guess I'll just start this one up. Zaitan in the area trying to zone Master of Sheepy away. Master of Sheepy not going to be too concerned with that one. Extremely tanky on the Elise at this point. They're going to push him back out. It looks like Unicorns of Love fancy their chances on this dragon here. They clear away the pink ward, so they know that this has been spotted out. Ziz is going to show up. Zaitan over on the side as well. Hyosang trying to zone him away from this one. Gilius still up in the front. Solar Flare goes down onto the back line. Hyosang dives through and just creates so much separation. Gilius is going to have to take this all down by himself. He's going to run himself away from this one. Final time comes in from the flank, puts the auto attack down. Down goes Ziz. Vardag going to pick that kill up with the piercing light, and Unicorns of Love take control of the dragon.
Yep, form a conga line, go in one by one, and they get shredded for it. So, that's a dragon, that's a couple of kills. Unicorns of Love put themselves back on roughly even gold terms, and also give themselves an opportunity to form up as a 5-man and push out. Because remember, the problem that SK Prime will have is in team fights. They did just seek themselves out of team fight. I can understand doing that. They've won the last couple, but generally when they've been winning, they've been on the defensive. And I actually like that, that's kind of cute. Oh wow, that was not cute. That was a bomb. But walking into the mines with a shield to prevent wave clear.
Master Sheepy. Oh, so much damage on the final time. Smitty comes in from the side. So much burst.
Ow.
Not going to be able to get it done. Command Protect keeps him alive one more time. Gilius jumps in onto Hyosang and picks up yet another kill. And here we are at the 32-minute mark. The average kill per team also at 32. This game has been a bloodbath.
1 kill every 30 seconds, roughly. So let's see if the birth rate can keep up. Now, actually it will do. In Summoner's Rift, the birth rate is very quick. It's about 50 seconds. Actually, it's probably even less than that at this stage of the game. But, okay, Prime going to be pushing in on the mid lane now. They've got Ziggs, obviously, so they can do a decent bit of damage to this, and there's no one there to stop them. They're going to get that.
Down goes the tower. Moving in onto the inhibitor. Final time is here in the area. And he's become the very scary Orianna right now. And Gilius just going to try to just dive on him again. Will he have the damage output? Yes, indeed he does. Spirit of the Elder Lizard going to be able to burn that kill down. Ziz able to take down the inhibitor. Now they dive back in. Master Sheepy goes up into the repel. Will he come down? Yes, indeed he will. Who does he go on? He's going to try to go on to What the Fox, but he pops the Zanya's Hourglass. Be able to keep himself alive and take down Shachi. Double kill goes down as down goes Vardax. Hyosang now all by himself. He's going to go down. Zaitan picking that kill up. Smitty diving the Nexus Towers to take down the last surviving member of Unicorns of Love. Can he get it done? Repel comes out one more time. Smitty does not have enough burst damage, but it's not going to matter. He confines Master of Sheepy to the fountain, and his team moves in onto the Nexus Towers.
It was just so much easier for SK Prime to take objectives away when they got team fight advantages. And that's what they've done. They just ended up pushing in on their first inhib, taking the pace down. So The game is over, the battlefield is done, and we have got a final kill total of 70. So, yeah, I don't know if there's much time for thought about what was going on in that game, but certainly a lot of fast-paced map movements and catches as well, and quite a few slightly dodgy decisions, I think, in terms of when to engage and when not to engage, but still a blast to watch.
A lot of fun for that one. We'll see if game number 2 is equally bloodthirsty. We're going to take a little bit of a commercial break. When we come back, it'll be game number 2 of this series. SK Prime lead 1-0 over Unicorns of Love.